Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter video. Only today we're not talking specifically about World. Instead, I want to talk about what's next, in the broader sense, for the Monster Hunter series, in light of a recent Capcom shareholder meeting. Also, very quickly, for those of you holding out for Mix-Up Monday, it will be making a return very soon, but I put it on hold for the next couple of weeks since we haven't had too many new submissions, and a lot of the submissions recently are very similar to sets from previous episodes, and since I want to ensure I'm bringing you guys content you'll enjoy and provides value, I'm going to hold out for just a little bit longer. We have the Summer Festival coming soon, which will bring with it a new armor set, and there's also the Behemoth stuff too, so rest assured, it will make a return, but for the next couple of weeks, we'll talk about other Monster Hunter related stuff during the Monday slot. Do keep submitting your sets though on both Discord and the email, both of which are linked down below, because I'll go through those when I do the next episode. Also, if you guys haven't already picked up the Arekkz Gaming t-shirt that we launched the other day, then a reminder you can do so. It's linked in the description box down below. This is what it looks like. Hopefully you guys do like it, and if you want to grab it, then it's available right now. But anyway, on to today's topic. What's next for Monster Hunter? Obviously there's the PC version of World still set to release this year, and while yes, we haven't heard anything new from Capcom, which was a little surprising given that E3 seemed like the perfect chance, but that aside, anytime they're asked about the PC version, they do keep saying that they're still aiming for autumn/fall this year, and with Gamescom happening in August, the largest consumer video game show of the year, it seems like the most sensible time and place to make an announcement. So here's hoping we hear more then. But I'm not here to talk about the PC version either. I want to talk about the future. What's next for Monster Hunter following the release of Generations Ultimate on Switch later this year? Well, on June 11th, Capcom had their 39th General Shareholders Meeting, and during this, a variety of topics and titles were discussed, as always, but relevant to this topic was a question that arose surrounding Capcom's impressions of the Nintendo Switch in light of the sales and some of the Capcom released titles performing positively on the platform. To which Capcom responded, "We currently have Monster Hunter Double Cross, and by extension Generations Ultimate, for Nintendo Switch, and plan to continue developing titles for this platform in the future." Now this as a statement is hardly groundbreaking or surprising, but at the same time it's encouraging to hear. Following the release of the Nintendo Switch at the beginning of last year, Capcom were initially skeptical as to how the console would perform. And it's for that reason that some of their early releases were ports. They kind of used it as a means to sort of test the waters, so to speak. Fast forward to today, or last month should I say, since that's when the meeting took place, you now have the Nintendo Switch shifting large numbers, and also Monster Hunter World, Capcom's most successful title to date, reaching 7.9 million sales worldwide. And it's the combination of these factors that will ultimately influence the series' direction moving forward. While some of you might have dropped off a little in recent months while you wait for new content or news on what's next, there's no denying that Monster Hunter World gave the series the push it really needed to truly get mass market appeal in the West. However, it's also important to remember the importance of the handheld market. In Japan especially, one of the things that made Monster Hunter so popular and such a system seller was its portable nature. It was the perfect game to play with friends, on the train, at work, school, anywhere basically, and that's a strong part of why it became so popular. But that's also partly why it made it a little harder to break into the West, with many people not willing to dive in and try it on the 3DS. And of course, that's ultimately what led to World. And I think where we are right now is a rather interesting space. With Generations Ultimate dropping on Switch next month, the series is once again accessible on a portable platform, and one that a lot of people will find more appealing given the Switch's bigger screen and the ability to play on the big screen. But it's also important to remember that it is an older game. For those of you that are new to Monster Hunter with World, I strongly encourage you to play Generations Ultimate, since it is a fantastic game, and it's a game I will still be covering heavily on this channel, but it's also important to go in with the knowledge that you are going backwards a little bit, and as such, the quality of life changes introduced in World naturally won't be present, and therein lies the message behind Capcom's statement in the investor call. Again, this is hardly going to come as a surprise, but I think it's fair to say Capcom are more than likely going to continue the series on all platforms from this point forward, with Nintendo Switch getting its own dedicated game at some point. Following the success of World, Capcom will of course continue to pump their efforts into that. The PC version is coming, there will likely be more free content updates throughout the year, and assuming World follows the traditional Monster Hunter formula, then we can likely expect some sort of G-Rank expansion at some point down the line. But as I've mentioned in the past, there are two Monster Hunter teams. You have the quote-unquote main team, who've worked on the numbered titles throughout the years, and are also working on World, which is, for all intents and purposes, MH5. Meanwhile, you have the second team who worked on Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, Generations, and Generations Ultimate. So I can see moving forward these two titles existing in parallel so as to give players access to the series no matter what their platform choice. I honestly don't ever see a day where World or World 2, if they ever make it, goes to Switch, alongside the core platforms given their power differences, but I do see a future where the Switch, despite its home console functionality, essentially adopts the handheld market while the main series continues on home consoles. So if that happens, what can we expect? Well, they'd for sure take a lot of their learnings and apply those to whatever comes next. While Generations Ultimate won't change anything given that it's already been and done, I think World has set the series on a new path, or at least set certain changes in motion that will be a little bit hard to go back from moving forward. I could see whatever is next on Switch perhaps cherry picking some of the core, critical and most relevant quality of life changes and applying that to the old school traditional Monster Hunter formula. Whether future handheld titles would also adopt the open map layout or maintain the traditional loading zone split is of course anyone's guess, but what is exciting is that whatever we do end up getting will likely straddle the line to provide the best of both worlds, and as someone that grew up with the series on portable, that is genuinely incredibly exciting for me. Additionally, the second team aren't afraid to do things differently and take risks. It's thanks to them we have styles in Generations and Generations Ultimate, methods for drastically mixing up the way that we play. So apply that mentality to the future of the portable series and that should for sure make for some pretty exciting experiences. Now yes, right now all of this is still speculative talk. I feel like if we do get a future title on handheld, it's going to be a long way off still, in light of World launching this year, Generations Ultimate dropping soon, and the PC version still set to launch hopefully this year, then I imagine we're still a ways out from anything else new. But at the same time, with Generations Ultimate out the door, the second team won't be just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, so here's hoping they'll be getting to work on something new for portable. What about you guys? What do you think of all of this? And more importantly, what would you love to see in a future portable title? I, for one, hope for new weapon additions. I mean, that's always a given. More weapons means more ways to play and more gear to farm. But at the same time, I'd love for them to use the portable, more traditional online structure of old and merge it with what World had to create an online experience that is both accessible and also alive. Aside from, of course, a few online difficulties here and there on consoles and the challenges of playing through the story, World is largely a pretty accessible online game, giving players the freedom to jump in, say, mid-quest, through SOSs, things like that. But with that accessibility came a certain barrenness to online, something that you didn't suffer with the older games. So if they can find a way to merge those two to create a happy middle ground, we'd end up with an online lobby and experience that is both accessible and lively at the same time. Of course, there's a million and one things I could talk about that I would like to see, and that in itself would likely breed its own video, so for now I'm just going to wrap things up, but again, let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in a future portable Monster Hunter game. Thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.